year or whatever, you can play all the games as long as you want. But if not, like I have the free version, so you only play like 4 games a day. But they're like really cool little brain games. Like I like doing that stuff. And it's the tightest app I've seen for like brain games so far. There's a couple more that I haven't downloaded, but I'm just stuck with that one. It's like pretty fun.
Alright, so how'd you get into graphic design?
You want to take that one first?
Yeah, fuck it. My shit was on accident, I think. Well, I mean,
I've met a few accidental artists myself.
Well, like I was like drawing and shit like that, and then like kind of self-learned type of like Photoshop and like Illustrator, but like I was like trash. It's just like I just knew more than my teacher, but she didn't know anything. Like this is high school, and then I applied to the Art Institute. And I thought I was getting into animation. I was like, oh, they draw. They do like the whole like drawing Dragon Ball Z flip.
So you
shit.
You thought you could be in animation?
I thought I wanted to be an animator. That's not what y'all do. Fuck no, I ain't cut out for that shit. I'm a beast. That shit is crazy. I got
one animation class. That shit was crazy intense. And it wasn't probably even intense for y'all, but it was for me. It was like, man, it's too much drawing.
The truth is.
But that's probably what makes you such a badass artist, because I had the Johan dude for the 3D sculpting and modeling class.
Oh yeah, y'all's teachers were definitely like...
Homeboy had like 30 sketches, but I mean, it wasn't like,
finished.
Draw this, you know what I mean? It's like, I need 30 gestures,
yeah.
Front, side, back, you know, or like 10 of each, and it's just like, bro, like, I'm busy.
So like, so did you always know you were gonna be in design? Like, you always knew you were gonna be like a designer at some point?
I knew I was gonna be an artist.
Okay,
there was just no other option for me. My dad painted, my brother drew, my sisters drew. Like I don't think I had another talent.
Okay, damn.
See, that's different for me. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like for me, like I always drew. Like from like when I was like way younger. Like my grandma's had like, I don't know if y'all did this like at any of the schools y'all went to, but when I was in like maybe like kinder or first grade, one of the early grades, there's this thing where we drew a picture and then they put it on shirts, magnets, all types of stuff. I don't know, maybe it was just like where I was at in my hometown, but they did it for like all the kids, and I think they still do it. So like my grandma, my mom and dad, they all have like this like 4x5 size magnet where it's got this picture that I drew with my name, and like even I seen my grandma wear it a few times too. It's like a long sleeve shirt where it's just got like just a basic, like, you know, where they just like printed it out on a shirt for you or whatever as your kid. And that's probably one of the early times that I remember, like where they were like, oh, you can draw or whatever, because I was like, I drew like, apparently it was like the house that we stayed in. I was like, this light was on, my parents were playing bingo, because that's like things I remember doing. I was like, I kind of like drew what I thought of my interpretation of the house at like whatever, like first grade or kindergarten. And then I mean, I just always drew. I got into graffiti because I remember I used to start seeing like, I remember like driving from like my hometown to Lubbock, which was like a 30 to 45 minute drive, and I would always see like graffiti on trains. So I think that was cool. And I remember, that way we don't go down a rabbit hole, I'm just gonna make this real quick, because I'll definitely do a whole nother podcast.
You're like, I love it, man. I like how passionate you are. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying?
I remember one year when I was in high school, it was my freshman year going into sophomore, or I was in 8th grade going into freshman. I was like, I do graffiti. I want to actually try like what I see on the train. So I remember, make it real quick, went to Walmart, asked my dad to buy me some spray paint. He bought me some paint. My mom was out of town with my grandma, and my dad was like super chill about it. So he knew what we were gonna do, but he didn't know what I was gonna get into, because it was gonna lead into some problems. But he bought some spray paint for me. I had my cousin Manny was staying with me, and my cousin, he's like my step cousin. Yeah, my step cousin Mondo. Like they stayed with me, and I think my homie Shorts was with me. They stayed with me, or I don't think Mondo was. I think it was just Shorts and Manny. He bought me some paint. Once he kind of like went to bed at like midnight or 1 or something, we just went out the house and we started walking around and started tagging on shit. And then from there it was like a really cool rush. And
wait, so y'all didn't get caught?
No, so to make a long story short, so that led into me being like, fuck, this is like my new thing. So I remember this school year, like instead of
that bug though?
Instead of going to the football games and going to like things where everybody would go to, I was like, everybody's over here. That's where the cops is at. It's our time to go and
do
hit
stuff.
other shit. And then like on the weekends when like we definitely were able to like kind of like be out and roam around with my friends, we would just go into tag. And I had like always had friends with the car, so like we would just go and like jump out the car, hit some shit, and jump in the car. Literally like not even open the door, just jumping into the window, like take it off.
So how long would it take you to like do a stencil or a piece of art? How long would it take you? Like,
I mean, it just depends. Like I
so
can do
you
something
come prepared?
with
Like you come like, oh, I got my spray paint.
So back then I was just either just tagging like
freestyle?
my name, like just writing it like Oscar or the whatever Kingo Fresh.
Wait, so you were literally telling the people who you were, and nobody was like, yo, I know that.
So I started off by that, and then it went to I think my first.
Yo, I can't put my name anywhere.
My first tag name was
I say Fatai, like everybody, I'm the only one in all of America. Like, yo, ain't nobody, like, no, we know exactly.
Yeah, it started off with just Oscar, and then, like, the more I started doing graffiti and started, like, this is, like, right around when I found out, like, shit's on the internet. But now, I didn't find out really, my homie Shorts found out about it, and he was like, yo, I went and printed off all these pictures of, like, graffiti I found online. And it's like, that was like the little study book right there. I remember people like Can2, Adam 1.
The funny thing is, I used to do that too. I collect like graffiti that I thought was cool. I went through a graffiti.
He printed it out and we just checked it out. That started like helping me develop my style. And like, cause before I was just doing like this basic block and this like kind of like bubble. Like if you punch the bubble to where it's like kind of bends in a way.
It's inside like
I don't know how to say it. It's like if you just do a bubble letter and then like if you like nudged it and like the bubble's kind of like leaning in a way. So. But now he showed me this. That's where I started getting like a wild style and like just like changing it up. And I mean, from there, then I was like, man, they got some cool names or whatever. And then I started noticing like I don't really like to draw certain letters in my name. Like O is cool, but I'm not really a fan of that. So then I went to Kingo, and then I got tired of that.
I'm not a fan of O, but I wanted King O.
I didn't like doing a K. I really didn't like doing a K. And then the G is like whatever. I really didn't like any of them. If I think about it, I don't really like any of those letters. So then I went to Fresh. I like doing the F, the R, the E, the S, and the H. I love S's. S's are cool. H I wasn't too fond of. And then I got in trouble. I got busted for graffiti in high school. They even came and like, they pulled me out of class, looked at all my stuff, and they seen like, oh, this is the stuff that we're seeing around the town. It's all over my books and shit, because I was just, I didn't know no better, you know?
Evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
This motherfucker's got the templates
so
right here.
They were like, we need to go look at your house or whatever, and it's all up and down like my alley and all my whole little neighborhood, like the 3-block radius. Like,
you've already tagged it?
I'm tagging Kingo, I'm tagging all my old names and all my new names.
Bro, you're like that kid who doesn't know no better. He's just like, yo, they're not gonna find me, right?
Yeah, for real. So they pulled me out of class, and then they called like my parents, and then they were like, they ended up talking to my dad, they didn't talk to my mom. They're like, we need to come and check out some stuff at your house. We think your son's whatever. So my dad doesn't really know what's up. Like, he knows I'm doing graffiti, but he doesn't know like it's like y'all.
You're not the neighborhood Banksy. You know what I'm
saying? So he ends up letting them come and look at like our backyard, and like they look around the house, and they even like he let them in the house, and they saw like shit that was like on my room doors, taking pictures, all that shit.
Hood Banksy.
That was my first time like getting in trouble and getting put on probation and shit. And I think I was a junior in high school, a junior or sophomore in high school. I got put on probation for a year, but I got off in 6 months.
He stays on probation.
Damn,
and then,
bro.
From there, I was telling my friends, like, yo, we gotta change it up. Like, we need to do something different. So I ended up changing my name from Fresh to Curse, C-E-R-S.
So you thought, all right, they've gotten onto my name. Let me just change my name. Let me change my name.
Here's where I changed it up. So I'm like, let's just ask people for permission. And let's see, like, what's the worst they can tell us is no.
That's mad respectful.
We went to a couple places, and we asked permission, and they let us do it. Like, still to this day, I think all but like one wall has been like completely painted over. Everything else is still like fading in the sun, but it's still up, like from the places.
Yeah,
and it's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot. It's only like a laundromat, and then behind this bowling alley. And then a bunch of my old tags and shit like that is still up.
And then there's that one at that dude's house, or that person's house.
They painted over. That's the one that got painted completely over.
Damn,
but,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah, so.
Yo, you went from, criminal to like, legitly.
It was tight.
Being a part of the community.
Like, it was like, I remember we got put in the newspaper and shit. It was like, I remember the headline was like, passion
from
for
good
pain.
Nigga
They
to
got us,
good
they
nigga.
got us out there tagging shit. It was real cool. Like, that was like one of the highlights. But I mean, like, we could go to a whole other podcast. So I done skipped over and left out a whole bunch of stuff. But from there, like, going into college and leaving like my hometown, like, I wanted to just, I wanted to do art, but at the time I didn't really want to go to college. I just wanted, like, I did good in school. At my point in my senior year, like, I only went to school for like from 8 to like 10, and then I was off first semester, and then I ended up getting fired from my job, so I lost a work block, but I still was getting out of school from 8 to like 1 o'clock. I was getting out, and then I didn't have to stay till 4 like a lot of other people, but a lot of other people were getting off like at.
So were you hustling while you were in school? Like,
nah, I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't hustling at all, really. Like, I did like other dumb hustles I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing like art hustling. Like, I would draw on people's stuff if I wanted to, or.
So when did you really start getting into like, yo, when did you sit down and you're like, yo, I'm gonna start, like, I'm
with
gonna.
the graphics thing? Okay, if we skip a timeline, like a lot. Once I got into college, I met up with, I was hanging out with Ray Contreras. He went to school with us. I mean, I think you.
Cause this is fantastic shit. Like, this shit looks fucking awesome. Like, this is.
Appreciate that was.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
That was early Victor
like professional,
Aboytes right there. Cause Victor was already doing this type of stuff, and I did that to get hired with him at the job that we work at now.
Okay, so like to a portfolio piece.
Cause he was like, dude, I think you told me like do some UX stuff, like show me your portfolio, but if you can do like some UX stuff, like some layout design or whatever, like put that in there. That and then the Methodist Hospital stuff was like stuff that I was doing at my old job that I was like, let me just go ahead and put this in here. But what got me into this was I hung out with Ray Contreras. I wasn't doing graphics. Like, I mean, I would kind of do like some basic graphics, but it was like super basic. I mean, they were kind of, at the time they were cool. I thought they were cool, you know what I mean? It's like my ideas or whatever. But I was just doing them for me, and I was still like doing like the DJ. Like, I was virtual DJ at the time too. I didn't have turntables yet. So I was doing like little covers for like the little mixes I was putting out and stuff like that.
And so that gave you practice.
Just like little graphics or whatever, yeah. And so, like, I remember Ray Contreras saw me doing some of that stuff, and I went to go smoke with him and this dude, Gabriel, and this other dude, David. And they go by David Impey and Gabriel, Spaceboy Fresh. And they were like rappers at the time.
Oh, they on
Billy
YouTube?
Gang. They were Billy Gang, yeah, because I guess he grew up with them in like South Dallas or whatever. So we went to go smoke them at this like secret location somewhere off of like in South Dallas, off of like 35 in Illinois. And that's not even like the location. It's just that's where I remember going, and then they took me somewhere else.
Was it a park?
It was like this random cul-de-sac somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was like in the woods or something. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. I was like, this isn't fucking Dallas, but we'd always go there. And I remember, like, one of the I don't know what time. It wasn't the first time, but it was like maybe like the third or fourth time I went with him. I met these fools, and they were like, he was telling them, like, he was like bigging me up. He's like, yeah, he does graphics or whatever. And they're like, yo, bro, I need a mixtape cover. Da 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 da. Like, can you hook me up? And I was like, I mean, sure. Like, what do you want? So I remember like the first one I did was with this dude David. He's like, I'm dropping a mixtape called The Greenhouse. I want to be like the president or whatever. So I remember I took like a picture of Obama, took a picture of him, like cropped him out, did The Greenhouse. Like, I'm sure you could find it somewhere, but yeah. It's not on my profile. Like, it's buried. It's somewhere in Facebook. Buried somewhere.
It's like
you would have. I would have to go do some archives so you can like insert the clip in or whatever. Remind me, and I'll find it for you. It's somewhere on there, but it's gonna take some digging. But it was called The Greenhouse, and like literally it's like a green white house turned green, like weed plants or whatever. And that was the first one. I remember posting that, and then I guess they liked it. I mean, it looked cool at the time, so I ended up doing his homie Spaces and his own, and I don't know how this dude's name, Jaron or Jaron or Jaren, or I'm not too sure. I did his, and I posted that, and then that was starting to create like the snowball. So right now I would say this is like compacting the snow. I'm getting snow. One of the dudes that's a DJ from Lubbock called J City saw that, and I wasn't even promoting stuff like hit me up for graphics. I was just posting like I don't even think I even posted like I did this graphic. I think I just posted it or whatever. Just like
my thing is like really,
this
is what I'm so pro that like
this is what I'm going to school
are like,
for.
yo, this motherfucker costs like $10,000 to like do one or some shit.
Nah,
but that's the look and feel that you guys give off. It's like
it.
this shit looks high end, but the guys making it like, yo, these motherfuckers look like they will do it for a good fucking price. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe if we would have got into this maybe 10 years prior, we probably would have gotten that. Because I remember going, I'm pretty sure you saw it too, but I'm sure you saw it when we went to school and we saw the pricing guidelines for like graphic design.
Yeah.
Shit, like I charge like $65 for a flyer now. In that book, it says like somewhere between like $400 to like $800 for a flyer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, but it's like nobody's paying that price. Like you have to be a fool to pay that price. You know what I mean? It's like, even if your work's that good, like you can find somebody that will do it almost just as good, if not just a tissue.
Yo, that was the hardest quote I probably heard in college.
First
and which is true.
When he said it on
the moment you graduate, I feel like a lot of people have surpassed.
No, but like he stunned on you, like he put out like 3 of his dope.
Yeah, and then he's like put out a bunch of stuff.
Everyone's like, oh, like this is
competing
so
with me.
crazy, and he was like, yeah, he was like, this is good, but I'm your competition when you leave out of here. And as soon as he said that, I was like, and that was like our first vector class, and he was like, all right, well, this is your homework to do. That I'm just like.
Alright.
Like, damn, I need to step it up.
Alright, so here's my thing on that though.
Shout out to Credit.
Another thing I remember too is, okay, I don't think it was him then. It was one of my other teachers, one of my other classes, and he was like, nah, this wasn't Abraham. This is one of those teachers that was like keeping it real. Abraham kept it real with you, but this is one of those like more like blunt teachers, like to the point. I want to say this is like one of my, I don't know who this was. I honestly don't remember. It might have been Bell. I think it was Bell.
Bell keeps it real.
So he was saying, he's like, there's this bar of like, at the time he was talking about graphic designers, so this go for anybody. He's like, when everybody graduates, they fall into this category. And then as you like design and like whatever, you fall into this category and you can move up or down. He's like, here's this bar. He's like, everyone comes in at this base level. And then and this is like newbies, people that, he was like, that suck, that aren't good. It's like, here's this base level. Then he was like, then there's this big C. He's like, there's a lot of people in there, but it's not that many. Most people fall into this middle category of, you're good, whatever, da-da-da. But then he's like, there's those people that get out of that, and they're in that top percent where it's like, you're better than average. And he's like, and you're doing more than what this middle category is. This middle category is good, but you don't want to be there. He's like, and I'm like fucking it up. Like, it's not the exact way he said it, but it's like there's 3. You got that base level, you got that middle level where it's a shitload of designers, and then you got like those designers that you like look up to. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like just that top of the tier. Like,
and
designers.
What kind of designers do you look up to? Who are the guys? Some of the guys that inspire you guys to design.
I still get inspired by this dude, Daniel Got Skills.
Alright.
There's this dude that we met that I was real inspired by him whenever I was going to school. His name's Bruce Soto. The Juicy Graphics dude. I remember, and we just met his homeboy. It was crazy the way we found out who that dude is, and like, we have a friend that's a mutual friend. It's crazy.
That's dope.
I've talked to the dude on Facebook a couple of times, so it's pretty cool. Kid 8's a super big inspiration.
Johnny Zonic, that is cool.
Yeah, Johnny Zonic is real dope. I've talked to him a few times on Facebook and on the gram. This new dude, or he's not really new, but I mean.
And I think all the ones he's named are like photo manipulation people.
Yeah, this dude All Black is
like
real dope. I mean,
so do you guys study just graphic designers, or do you guys just study photographers, or like
designers? Really,
who do you guys look up to?
I look up a lot of stuff. Like I have that other Instagram, the Creative Contributor, and that's like nothing but like inspiration people that I follow. Like there's this one chick who's like super dope with lettering. Her name is, it's the Home Sweet Home girl, but I think her name is like Lauren, right? Her name's Lauren, I think, and she's like super dope. I thought she was like drawing stuff and then taking it into Illustrator or whatever, but I saw one of her, I follow her shit like heavy. All her stuff is like, she's just drawing it and then coloring it, and she's doing nothing but Photoshop. She's like, I rarely do anything illustrated, but she's like super dope. But she's created like a crazy following with her like hashtag homework with her name. Like it's super dope. There's this dude Boca Boom or Bodoka Boom that I follow that's really dope. months.
Wait, what's the best way to get clients, like when you're starting out?
Man, I don't really know the best way. I can tell you what worked for me is going back to my story with the David Empey dude, and I posted like those 3 covers, CD covers, mixtape covers. I saw the dude from, or I didn't see the dude from Lubbock named J City. I think he's still a DJ, Jason Pearson, DJ J City. He saw my shit. He's like, yo, give me some club flyers. And I remember I was like, cool, I was charging like 20, 30 bucks, you know what I mean? Like doing whatever. I remember one of the first 2 flyers I remember doing was one for like Charlie Boy and one for Beat King. Well, Beat King had out the song called Crush. Beat King got out the song called Crush. And,
Beat King was dope.
They were bringing them to Lubbock, and I was doing like flyers. Those were like the first 2, and then he liked my work, and he just kept fucking with me. And I was doing like the Billy Gang guys kind of helped me with like their friends. Their
friends saw it.
Yeah, basically there other people that they knew saw, and like, oh, this is who did it, and then they kept on messing with me for like projects, and then this fool was helping me like basically build like a basic little mini portfolio at the time of just shit that I was doing. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. I'm just like, okay, I'm getting like a little piece of snow, packing it. And Facebook was crucial at the time, as in like helping me get this, because as soon as I was
never
doing
discount social media.
Yeah, this is when I like found out the power of social media, because when I was doing it, every time I did something, I was posting it, and somebody would see it, and at the time I was just posting shit. I wasn't putting no caption or anything. Like I was posting to other people seeing it, like, yo, can you do this, and then that snowball just started just picking up, and then it got to a point where I was like doing stuff for people, and then their people were seeing it, and then I guess friends of their friends were seeing it, and then it really didn't start taking effect for me. Like Facebook was cool, but I was really only reaching like my friends and maybe their friends at the time. Once I got on the Instagram and started posting stuff, and then find out about like the power of a hashtag, like what certain hashtags can do, that's when shit really started rolling. Towards the end of 2013.
Is that your biggest year? Graphic design, like
that was
as
my
a freelancer?
I don't know how to put this. Towards I would say the midway of 2013 and all of 2014. And I'll say to like the half of the year up into 2015. It was probably my busiest year. Well, I don't know, I feel like I'm always busy. I feel like that was the year where I worked a lot and I made a lot.
They got taxed a lot.
Yeah, but I didn't do the taxing that I should have done. But at the time it was because like I'm still building my name, you know what I mean? Like if I had that same amount of, well, I don't know, it was just different, man. I don't want to make excuses or whatever for it, but it was just different because I turn down stuff now like crazy.
Okay.
Whether it's DJing, whether it's graphics, because at the time, like, I would just take stuff, and at the time...
How selective should you be when you're starting out?
I mean, when you're starting out...
Not at all, you just take anything.
Yeah, because
grandma needs a fly for church.
I don't think you can be better like later on.
Because going into the Instagram shit, like, my Instagram shit started getting me clients from everywhere. I was getting clients from the East Coast, West Coast, up north. I got work from Australia, like, you know what I mean? And that was a good client. Like, they were paying good money, like, for the shit that I was doing. It was super basic. But... I mean, I was doing work for people all over. I did some shit for this chick in Germany, some stuff for this people in like Alaska, and then just people like were tagging me and shit, like tags and hashtags were like help, and then tagging people in the shit that I was posting too was like, because I still do that shit now. It's not as effective because it's oversaturated and so much shit gets posted every day. Like your shit just gets thrown into the river. You know what I mean? But at the time, it was like. I was capitalizing and standing out, but I was like standing out on the side of the mountain. You know what I mean? I was standing out right here when I could have really been standing here. If I really knew what I was,
what you would know now,
yeah,
you could have maximized
I could have really maximized.
And that's what I'm trying to get is like what were some of those opportunities that you could have maximized on that would have helped your career back then that you could give to somebody who's coming out now, who's like who's trying to get into the graphic design hustle, trying to design more regularly, how can they stop, get away from the bullshit and stick to that?
This is gonna be bad advice. This is gonna be
more.
Yeah, that's the key. But this is gonna be bad advice because I worked a lot. This is gonna be good advice, but this is gonna be super bad advice.
What about?
Okay, this is gonna be good advice.
That's like a whole different.
That's
so.
Cause it's like
in that year of me like finding out about Instagram or whatever, so many motherfuckers would hit me up with DMs, and at the time like I'm starting to make money. Like I didn't grow up dirt poor, but I didn't grow up rich. Like I grew up like here's upper class, middle class, lower class. I grew up like right in between middle class and lower class. So it's like in there somewhere. It's like sometimes we had it, sometimes we didn't. You know what I mean? But we were always like in the middle. So. But not in the middle of like my cousins. They were like above middle class to some of my cousins. Like they were like spoiled. Like I was just like sometimes I get spoiled. Sometimes I get spoiled, and sometimes it was just like
you get what you get. You know what I'm saying? Yo, keep it real right now.
But I was still getting something. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was
you were struggling.
Yeah, it wasn't like.
Yeah.
You know.
I know the house.
Shopping at Salvation Army. You know what I mean? Sometimes we.
But sometimes you get.
We go to Bell's and you get an outfit and some shoes type shit. So, anyways, so I started making money. I'm like, yo, shit, like I'm able to like, I've been putting in work, like missing out on certain shit, like being like, no, I'm good on that, I'm gonna work on this. So now I'm like, it's starting to pay off to where like, yo, like I'm posting something and I'm starting to get DM, I'm starting to get people hitting me up on Facebook, because I was posting on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
So you were hitting the trifecta.
Yeah, at the same time, and then I like Instagram let you post on Facebook and Twitter at the same time, so I would do like a double time on Twitter and a double time on Facebook, along with me actually posting.
Did you post? How often?
At this time, it was like every day.
Okay. So you were really grinding hard.
Yeah, I was working it out. I remember this is. Okay, let me get back to this. Fuck that. I'm not gonna get off. I love it.
I'm gonna count how many times he says this could be a whole other podcast.
For real. Go ahead and put this could be a whole other podcast.
We're gonna put a pin there right there. Right there.
But yeah, so I started getting hit up, and this is where I was like, this is bad advice, but this is good advice. So people would hit me up, and for a while I'd just be like, what do you need? What do you want? Send it to me and I'll do it. So I'm cranking just stuff out, like this person wants a flyer, this person wants a CD cover, this or whatever. I'm doing it, and then I'm showing them. I'm like sending it to you, like, yo, you like this? And this is where the bad advice comes in, because I wasn't taking no money up front, and I was wasting my time, because some people would take that shit and run off on the plug. They block me all types of shit.
Take the deposit.
First things first.
Take the deposit.
But at the
advice number one, take a motherfucking deposit.
But at the same time,
50%.
like doing that though still got me a lot of money. So if say out of 10 people, 1 or 2 people might fuck me over.
Yeah.
Not even. If I do the odds on the amount of times I got fucked over, the amount of shit that I've done, it would have to be like one person. Maybe. And if we do like, that's on a scale of 1 to 10, if we do like 100 people, I probably got fucked over by maybe like 3 or 4 people. If we do like 1,000 things that I've done, I've probably maybe been fucked over by like 10 people.
Okay. But how much is that in the window where you weren't taking deposits? As opposed to like just everything that now you're taking deposits.
Was that you
like,
off of the youth?
Okay,
was that
from that time period that I was saying, from like the mid of 2013 to the mid of 2015.
Let's talk about when you didn't take deposits.
That's when I wasn't taking deposits. Up until like 2015, I was like,
I still know their names. I got their names on my phone right now.
Yo, I know that motherfucker shit too.
I don't want Oscar to call your ass out on this.
I hold grudges and shit like that forever.
You will never get another piece of ink from this man. Until you pay him what he's owed. Until you pay him,
motherfuckers still hit me up and be like,
trying to double back on someone.
Yo. Can I get a graphic done? And I'll be like, yo, bro.
Yo, you still owe me for
I need
$19.95, son. Yo.
Like, there's 3 people that I constantly like be like, maybe he might forget, and they hit me up.
He will never ever forget.
And I'm just like, yo, I need that money that you owe me for it. Even if it's like a petty amount. Like, I know this one dude, he owes me $75. He still hits me up, and I'm just like, dude, like, like it seems like you're making money. Just pay me the 75 and get back to business. There's another dude who owes me like $250, and I'm just like, dude, like, pay me for that and let's get back to business.
The truth is, I do know everybody that owes me money in my head too. Like you have it in your head. Those are moments that you never forget because they teach you something. Like they teach you.
They taught me I should have took a fucking deposit or I should have got that money first. But like I was the fool. Like you know what I mean. Like what can I be like mad about? Like you know what I mean. I did bad business when I should have been doing smart business. And when they taught us in school how to do smart business, and I didn't do smart business. But I was so money hungry, and I'm just like. Putting too much trust into people because at the same time I was getting so much money.
Me and Amber, we have definitely done projects where we've been sitting out motherfuckers' offices trying to get our money. Like, yo, I'm not leaving your office until I get some sort of payment. You're not getting this flash drive of your work until there's a check in my hand.
That's a different thing. So like because I've had some corporate clients.
It was like large amounts too. It was like large amounts. So like they didn't want you couldn't PayPal it. You couldn't PayPal the amount they were paying us because they were like it was a large 3D project.
You get taxed like a motherfucker.
That's another subject. That's another podcast pin.
Anything over 10,000, you want to try to get that motherfucking cash. Hit you and Iris gonna start putting that trucking device on you.
Yo, I'm about to edit this shit out. This motherfucker talking about evading taxes. Wesley Snipes went down for this shit.
No, I ain't evading taxes. I'm all my taxes.
Just like I said, Sam, I'm not part of this.
Leave. I'm paying.
I'm finna deduct the tax for coming over here and doing this podcast.
Yo, gas. It's gonna be gas.
Next year I'm putting I'm marking this shit down.
I did a podcast. Yo, this
gonna go under the there's a category on TurboTax. It's I forget what it's called, but like all these, I'm deducting all my shirts because it's under your promo. It's under under advertisement. That's what it is. This is advertising right here. This is what we're doing. You're advertising. We're advertising. The amount of gas it's spent for me to come over.
I just realized, y'all got your brands on my show and shit. Damn, y'all ain't even bring your homie a shirt. Y'all couldn't even be like, yo, Ty, here's one of these so you can throw it on. You know what I'm saying?
I can give you a sticker maybe. But
damn, I'll bring you a shirt. I'll bring you a shirt.
I got shirts.
I mean, I wasn't even wearing shirts.
No.
I could have brought you a shirt.
I think I'm gonna make a shirt out of these or like shirt and hats and shit. Like these.
How do you not have a card on you?
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all need to start getting like a card.
Oh, I don't have the sleeve.
Give them a goal reminder. That's what you need. Talk about that.
What's that?
I don't have any stickers on me. I'm so pissed.
So what projects are you guys working on now? It's like what personal like projects? I know you just dropped a new mixtape song or like a DJ album.
I literally just found a whole bunch of songs today that I want to drop another mixtape, but I try to do those monthly. So I've got so much music that I could drop one like probably like every week for like the next month, if not 2 months, but. Some songs start getting old to me and then I don't put them on. I kind of regret it. It's like
the thing is like this is what I think about my music is like I've heard it a bunch and I get tired of it, but nobody else has.
That's the thing too. But sometimes it's just like because
that's how I feel about my art.
I make
if I hold on it and I don't post it. I'm like, oh, this is old already. I'm like,
but
no one's seen it. Shit.
Yeah, nobody's, and that, sometimes your art needs like to be rejuvenated.
Yeah. So sometimes I just hold my back like extra longer. I'll forget about it, but like. Oh shit! I can post this shit.
I do have like I'll do like a bunch of 3D shit and like because of work I get really busy and shit and I'll forget that I've done like a bunch of these 3D so I'll come back when I'm like, oh shit, I remember I did these and then I'll like post them and so I always try to keep my art side sharp so I'm not always doing work shit. Do you guys find yourself like always? Is it easy to unwind after you go to work? Because what I hear is. You work and then you come home. You ain't trying to.
Do you guys have many different outlets? Like I got like the freelance. I got like my brand. I got like my photography. I'm doing video now. And then I got the job. Then like.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like you diversify, right? So you're never really bored with the shit you do.
And then outside of that, like just hobbies and shit like that. Like this. For me, I just got different outlets that I'm like. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. If I'm not doing like this, is easy. Like it's to not get like so monotonous.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope, man. That's a tip right there. Yeah. Like don't just burn yourself out doing one thing.
And it's like
diversify your shit. Like
it's also like at my job I'll do like web design, freelance I'll do like logos, like my brand stuff I'll do like and branding and shit like that. And then photography I'll do like certain styles, and like the video I'm learning, like video is like something more I'm just like learning type of stuff. So it's like it's all hitting different things of those different like aspects of it. So like
talk about 52 Ace Apparel, man.
Let them know.
Give us a little, give us like what's it about? What's the concept?
What's the brand thing? What's it called? The mission statement. Give the mission statement real quick.
Man, I've been working. No, I mean I can't really give like I feel like everyone around me gives a better mission statement about my brand.
Okay, how would you explain? Then you explain his brand. He explained.
I always have to give. I always have to explain his brand.
Why don't you explain Oscar's brand and Oscar explain yours?
I don't really have the brand like him. Like he's got more of like a brand. My thing is like me. Yeah. Like, I sold some shirts, but it's just like a one-off. Like I got some shirts. You want to support me? Go ahead and cop some. Baker's more on like the lifestyle brand. You know what I mean? Mine's just like. You see me out here hustling. If you want to support the hustle, go ahead and cop something. And keep the hustle moving.
I feel you.
Yeah, but basically, like the brand's just like an all killer, no filler mentality. Like just not doing stuff just to get it done type of shit. Like, cause I mean, I don't like people that just like slack off on their shit like that. Like I don't know. I just don't like it personally. Okay. So like, well, my thing is like setting the whole mindset of trying your best at everything you do. So like 52 aces, there's 52 decks in there's 52 cards in a deck, and just like all of them being aces. So like when you look at your portfolio, you're not worried about like what page they're on. You're not worried about nothing. You're like that's an ace, that's an ace, that's an ace, that's an ace. So like that was shit like that. Yeah. So it's just setting out that mindset and like just putting that as a lifestyle, opposed to just like here's some shirts or something.
Excellence first.